Hello, Sky Friends, and welcome to Seasons of Skyrend, Book 4. We're a custom 5e D&D adventure that focuses on the stories of our characters as they seek to change the world, and how the world responds in turn. I am your host and DM, Scott, and you can find me on Twitter at @TheScottBlake.
Hi, I'm Chris, and you can find me at Ewok Killer on Twitter. I play Finnegan Finn Tempest, a Tiefling Trainer, which is a Skyrend original class supported by the Metalweave Games supplement Baby Bestiary. Finn is the trainer of Cerilius, a blue guard drake.
Hi, my name is Nate. You can find me on Twitter at Skyrend_Nate. I play Darvin Grimm, the human monk, and I am currently hosting Cade, the demigod of the land in my brain.
Hi, I'm Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Skyrend_Shannon. I play Aranus Grey, the god of rebellion, and I am a half-elf bard.
You can also find the show on Twitter at Skyrend Podcast, and you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Skyrend Podcast. Head on over to find out about bonus chapters, early access, NPC creation, and more. Now then, thank you for joining us, and please enjoy this chapter in Seasons of Skyrend. Attempting to push your way through the contract house alone did not go as planned. Even though you were successful against the first group of guards, that victory did not come easy. Rather than press your luck by continuing on, you retreated to the relative safety of the Church of Rebellion here in Caravel to rest, recover, and build your forces. Unfortunately, the element of surprise is now gone. The guards you beat into submission will surely share their intel on you with their superiors. Whenever you do make your next attempt, the contract house will likely be prepared. However, Lynn Jarvis may not be content to simply prepare defenses. Knowing you will need time to recover, he has already sent patrols out to locate you. For the moment, they do not know your current location, but that will not stop them from trying to persuade others to reveal you. Caravel is by no means a small city, but it will be risky to move about in the open. As you wake to prepare for the day, your allies are doing the same. Parlin emerges from a back room with Seth and Mahogany, the three of them wearing handcrafted cat ears and tails to honor Aranus's accidental transformation. Parlin carries extras for anyone who wants a set. Rystos, tickled by this, takes a set but does not put them on. What would you like to do today? I guess in case we forgot. Yeah, Aranus tried to polymorph and accidentally turned into a catboy.
Yeah, I remember.
And your most devout follower certainly noticed.
I would like to start my day by thanking Parlin for being just awesome.
That puts a huge smile on their face. Parlin will certainly offer you one.
I'm good, thank you, though.
Oh, Parlin looks a little defeated, but they, along with Seth and Mahogany, will offer them to the rest of you as well before offering them to the others hanging out here. Would anybody like a pair of cat ears and a tail?
I'll take one. That's cool.
You putting that on, Darvin?
Sure, why not?
I was just starting to have PTSD flashbacks of not being able to take off my butterfly antenna.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can't take that from you. I can't put a headband on my head. Freaking out.
One, Parlin just made these last night.
No, I know.
With Seth and Mahogany, none of whom that you know of are particularly magical. Two, Gosram is dead.
Yeah, I know. I'm still shook, though.
Finnegan, would you like a pair for yourself or perhaps for Cyril?
Cyril's already in her harness, and I take a pair and I walk over and I hold them to her. Like, and I kind of give her like, do you want to wear this? She looks up at me and looks at everyone else, looks at Arnis, just kind of shakes her head like, y'all look ridiculous. So I give it back.
Okay. Cat ears and tails aside, what would you all like to do today?
Not die.
That's a good start.
That's a good
start. Rystos agrees with this plan, as do pretty much everybody else in this church right now. If no one has anything specific, I can certainly bring in NPCs to press things, but I wanted to leave this open at first. You kind of know where you're at.
Finnegan has a thought. Finnegan's going to broach this subject. Finnegan is like, I think we need to put together some spies. Someone to watch the guard, make sure no one's coming for us, and let us know ahead of time.
It's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Arnis, you're good with people. I'm pretty sure you could convince some. And I have my ways. If you allow me some time and maybe a friend or two, I'd like to make a trip out to the forest and see if I can't find us a companion.
You want to leave the city?
What?
Well, the forest isn't far, right? Like, we're in a rather rustic area.
You're in Caravel. You could get to the wood. I'm not going to say you can't. I just want to confirm that you wanted to leave the city to go do that.
Well, we're going to have to leave the city if we're going to go arm the farmers, for one.
See, originally I thought this was all just getting the people within the city behind you. But if you want to get people, within the city walls behind you, if you want to get people who are outside of the city walls behind you.
Well, I guess the bigger question, who do you want to fight this fight?
Well, I mean, the fight is for anybody like connected to the city, right? Because they're all paying the crazy taxes. I don't know if that includes people who are just outside the city walls.
Anybody who does business with the city would be affected.
Yeah, I guess like the bigger question we need to decide is who do we want to fight this war?
I guess
Well,
it also
then-
depends on who we can get to fight it, right?
Yeah, I think that is part of it too. If the people who are even like moderately like connected to the city, like farmers who basically live outside the city walls, are still affected by what's happening, then we would want them, right? But it seemed to me like it was all the businesses within the city that were affected. Am I remembering that right? Am I misremembering something?
You're remembering correctly.
Okay.
The businesses in the city are definitely affected. But if a farmer wanted to come in and sell their goods, they would be affected too. The farmers who have set up outside of the city and who have lived their lives coming in and selling food here, or, selling to a merchant who then sells food, they're impacted. They still have to pay that fee to get in the city in the first place. That fucking bullshit. And then it's not like the merchants who are in here are going to be charging them a lower price. You can't just raise tax. It's an economy. It affects everybody who participates.
Right. Okay.
That's how it works. But so yes, farmers would be affected because if their farm is like right outside the city walls, or
then they're
an
selling
hour's
to the
ride
city.
outside of the city,
Right,
where
right.
else are they going to go? They can't just pick up a farm and go elsewhere. They'd have to buy land somewhere else, and they'd have to start over again. What are you laughing at?
I'm just having like an image of like a cartoon farm where they just like put a rope at the like four corners of the plot and just like pick it up and move it. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. We live in a magical world here with enough magic that could surely be done. You could just put a tow hitch on one end, put a rope around that, and drag it out. But, most folks around here couldn't afford that to begin with, let alone during these hard times. Which I guess is a long way of me saying, yes, you could get farmers involved. Yes, Finnegan could go out, try to find some allies there, try to find some animals outside too. If
that was what I was thinking, yeah. Although I don't need to go out. If we want to stay here, I'm sure there's a park somewhere I can find the animal spies I'm looking for, or an alley cat. I'm looking for a creature that I could convince to help us that would be nondescript.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
like
down.
a spy animal. Okay. I wasn't sure if you meant like animals to fight alongside you.
Well, I mean, I would be for our advantage, taking them on as a low level.
Uh,
'Cause I have 2 levels left to take on. So I'd be taking them on as a low level, but I'd be using them like for intelligence and communication.
okay.
Like, that's why I was thinking, like, go to the forest, find a bird of prey, right? Go into the alleys, find a cat, find something that the guard isn't going to be like, wow, that animal's really not supposed to be here.
Okay. That makes way more sense than me picturing Finnegan going into the stables and having his Braveheart speech to the horses, and then they all charge the city gate, you know.
I mean, you could do that too, and I totally like the idea now.
Sir, they're coming with horses. You mean they're coming on horseback? No.
The horses are fighting. Oh, we're totally doing that, by the way.
I mean, you can try. I'm sure you know Speak with Animals. I'm
It's
pretty sure it's built into the class.
Yeah, it's built into the class. I get to use it like 5 times for free.
Ooh, buddy.
You can speak with animals. It's not going to break anything.
I know.
So yeah, that's certainly an option. But if there are other people you want to convince into your service, bribe into your service, threaten into your service, or groups, as I said last time, there are guilds within the city. And don't forget you've got your party members who can do some of this work for you, both in the sense of finding allies or just getting intel. Morello is an assassin in training. He's a stealthy kid.
He would be great eyes on the streets, and maybe even someone who could start to get some of the, as we would call them, street rats.
Tonk as a bard could go places.
Yeah, I was thinking that Mahogany might be good with teaming up with Morello and doing some of that. Just because, like, she kind of knows streets, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Send them out.
If Streetwise were a stat in this edition, she would have high Streetwise.
Yeah. And so, like, sending them out as a team to kind of be eyes and ears, but then also see if there are other, street youths around that I don't know what to call it. What's a PC term for that?
What, street youths?
Yeah, is that fine?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Young people who live in town.
I mean,
but
children?
Like young people who are maybe like
A little rough.
unhoused. Yeah. Like and
Displaced children?
yeah, sure. There we go. Like other people who might be kind of, like Mahogany, right?
Mm-hmm.
They might be able to kind of recruit some of them and then
Cool.
widen out from there.
So, recruiting child soldiers into your war.
Well,
No, they're
really, they're
No, I
more
imagined
like,
it was like
they're more like
intel.
they're our little birds.
they're
Yeah.
more like spies, right? Because they can go a lot of places and no one's going to notice them, right? No one's going to pay any attention to the,
Yeah, people
anyway.
don't pay all that much attention to the homeless, even when there's, hard economic times. And
Right.
there's a lot of them, especially kids, because then it's like, oh, they're just punk kids messing around.
Right. Exactly.
Like, they've got parents. Let the parents deal with that shit.
Right. So maybe sending them out to do that. I would love to send a couple people to actually just because I want to go see if we can get the pit fighters on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah, that's a good
for
idea.
for me, that would be a really big get, but I also figure that's really hard, which is why I want to do it. But I would love to send some people just to talk to the business owners as well. Right. 'Cause I figure that they're paying a lot of taxes. They are probably an easier get.
What about what's his face from Karami?
Seth.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a great person to send. Maybe Parlin too. Maybe send them out as a team. Do they need somebody who can protect them?
Not a bad idea.
I mean, if you want to send Seth, he's a young teen, but timid. And Parlantress,
You know what?
they are.
Send Tonk with him. Tonk's a bard. At the very least, he can cast some magic and get them out.
Yeah, even at a low level, I bet he could keep them okay
He
and help them run away.
Yeah, he knows a lot of distracting spells.
Yeah.
Well, not a lot. I shouldn't say a lot, but he knows just some distracting spells. So
That's a motley crew.
part of plan 1 is sending Tonk, your teen gnome bard initiate guy,
Mm-hmm.
out with Parlantress the senior citizen, and Seth Ordone,
Yep.
a young teen bookkeeper, out to talk to these shops and try to get these shops on your side.
Yep.
Question
I
then.
think I figured the team of them kind of covers all the bases. Anyway, what were you saying, Scott? Question?
Yes. Seth, Tonk, and Parlin. I'm just writing this down. Going out to get merchant support. Seth, Tonk, and Parlin going out to get merchant support. What does that support look like when it comes time to go up against the contract house? Like, what are you getting? What do you want to get from them, I should say? Like, ideally, this goes well. All three of them go out. They talk to a bunch of merchants. Merchants are on your side. And then you get what?
I want people or product. So, like, we need people who are willing to go with us, or we need stuff that will help us succeed. So, whether it's like weapons, armor, potions, like if the shop sells such a thing, right? Like we need, yeah.
Okay. I just needed to ask that question because
Right.
I want to make sure I'm interpreting your desires here correctly.
Yeah. And part of it is like, money would do just as well, but I figure like that's the shittiest thing I can ask, considering that's what we're trying to get them out of.
And considering that you collectively probably have a lot more money than some of these other merchants.
Right. Exactly.
You're asking us for money. We should be asking you for money.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I figure that's fucked up, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, please don't build a mega church.
No.
Then we can make even more money.
Church of Rebellion needs a jet.
Oh my God.
Church of Rebellion needs a jet.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So I really want to strangle people. Just murder.
All right. So they will go and do that, and we can have rolls for that when the time comes.
Okay.
It's also one of the reasons why I wanted to make this party tables. That way you guys can roll, and we can have bonuses visible right there. Because then it's you doing dice and not me doing dice for your success. Because I feel like I should be rolling dice when it's attacking you.
He only wants to roll dice that try to kill us. That's what he wants.
Well, I want you to feel like your successes are yours, not Scott rolled a success for you.
That's fair. Yeah, but we never roll well, so
It's true.
That may be also that. That may be also that. Okay. Sending them up to talk to the merchants. Arnis, you mentioned you want to get support of the pit fighters.
Yeah.
Is this directly from the pit fighters? Like, are you going to go out to training halls and rally them to you? Or do you want to go to the Sporting Association, which is the guild that oversees athletes, and try to convince them to convince their athletes? You could hit all of them at once by doing that. They just may have less of a personal stake in following you if that is the case.
Yeah, why don't we start there and see what we accomplish? Start with the Sporting Association.
Okay. Is that just going to be Arnis alone, or is anybody going to go with Arnis to do this?
I would like Darvin to come with me if he's willing, unless he has another idea.
I'm good. That sounds like a good. Yes, I'm absolutely.
I'm going to go with them too, only to make sure that, like, if Arnis is out, he's going to draw attention, and best to have the heavy hitters with him. But while I'm out, I'm just going to keep an eye out for any ideal creatures to call to our cause.
Okay, so that means no going out to the farms.
Not yet.
Unless you're sending other NPCs out to do that, which they can't.
Do we have anybody left that will be good at that?
You've got people left. Sam, Carolina, Felicity, Morello. Unless you want him
for Sam and Carolina,
doing stealth here.
Felicity even.
Yeah, that's actually a great job for them because that gets Sam and Carolina out of the city.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Morello and Mahogany, are they still going to go and try to be eyes and ears?
Yes.
Okay. And Rystos, he's...
Yeah, Rystos can stay in the church.
Sure he will.
Dick.
You're a dick.
I'm not saying you're a dick. Rystos is a dick.
Mahogany, Morello, going out to get intel. So sorry, who did you want to send out to the farm? Slash what?
They're going out to get intel / recruit any like
that's right.
kind of kids who are living rough.
Slash recruit. Let me tell us that there's more children to the cause.
Fight for Ernest.
To the farms, who did you say you wanted to send?
Sam, Carolina, and Felicity. Basically the last 3 people.
You're sending out all of your adults.
I suppose so. I mean, we could leave one of them here.
No, it's fine. You don't need anybody to babysit the church. As you saw, the church has the ability to defend itself. You won that fight, but they have fighters. Okay. If Sam, Carolina, and Felicity are successful, what does that look like? I mean, getting assistance from children to the cause in terms of intel, like, yeah, that's self-evident what it is. And you going to the sporting association, I totally understand what you're getting out of that. What are you getting from the farmers? What do you want to get?
I mean, like, for me, it would be the same thing, and someone can stop me if they have a better idea, but it would be the same thing as going to talk to the merchants. I want people or product. Right now, most likely it's going to be people because, they're not going to have exactly what we need, except, I guess we will have to feed people at some point. But
I mean, it's not like you're besieged
right.
Or you're marching out to a combat. Like, you're still in the city. You do need food, but it's not like you're at risk of losing out on food.
Basically the same thing. Like, their thing is more, it's more straight up recruitment, though, because they're not likely to have a product that's going to help. So really we need people.
A bunch of farmers with pitchforks, sickles.
Yeah.
Not backhoes, just normal hoes.
Scythes.
Okay. So this is what I have right now. The 3 of you are going to go to the sporting association. Try to convince them that the fighters should all help you out. Very simple, very straightforward. Although along the way, Finnegan may get distracted by some animals.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly, it takes time for you to form that bond, which means if you do see some animals, that'd be you splitting off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Seth, Tonk, and Parlin, they're going to go talk to some merchants out in the city, see if they can get you some support in terms of bodies or supplies. Mahogany and Morello are going to go out to get intel and try to convince some other kids to do the same. And Sam, Carolina, and Felicity are going to go out to the farms around the area to recruit. That's going to take some time because I'll have to leave the city and, actually wander around through the farms. And I believe, other than Ristos, that's all of your party members that you can have working on side tasks. I don't know how much you would trust Ristos with a task on his own just yet, but that's up to you if you want to or not. Left to his own devices, I can assure you he will probably just be following you. He'll be flying. He may not be right next to you, but he'll be watching over you.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
That way, when you screw up, he can bring it up again later. Right? Oh, why'd you fail here? I'm going to tell you why. Because you're dumb. Okay. Those all sound very, very good. Very, very good. Who do we want to start with? Which one of those pursuits do we want to start with? We don't need to play through all of them, but they all involve dice rolls.
Well, I have them in an order out here. So why don't we start with Seth, Parlin, and Tonk? Okay. I wrote down what everybody was doing. So
did I. All right. Seth, Parlin, and Tonk are going to go out and talk to some merchants. I imagine that Tonk or Parlin, I don't know, all 3 of them would be good at talking to merchants. Seth just because, numbers. But the 3 of them are going to go out and talk to some merchants. Let's see. Tonk has a bonus of 3, as does Parlin. Seth has a bonus of 2. So, trying to figure out how we should do this. These bond stats are meant to be more individual, but I'm thinking we can do some addition here. In the case where multiple NPCs are going out to do stuff for you on their own, we can just add together the 2 best scores to represent this group effort. So you can get a +6 on this roll.
Okay.
Now, we don't need to do any role playing for this unless somebody really wants to embody one of these NPCs or wants to like talk about a particular merchant that they went to go see. But we don't have to do any role playing here. Totally optional. A very good success could look like them getting assistance from merchants who actually have things that would be more beneficial. Things like blacksmiths and alchemists and apothecaries. Whereas a lesser success could be from less useful merchants. Like, what do you call those people who deal with textiles?
I think they're just called textile merchants.
That's lame. They should get a better name. Would really improve their Q rating. But, it could come from lesser merchants. And of course, if they fail, then that could also just sully your cause altogether.
If we have too many fails, we have to abandon this town and just run away. You guys know that, right?
Maybe we should have to do that now.
We have just fucking quit.
Let's just retreat to Honey Hollow. That worked out. Have I mentioned how we still have to go through Honey Hollow again?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So.
Cool.
Since we have 1, 2, 3 different NPC groups going out and doing stuff, and there are 3 of you, that means you each get to roll for one of the NPC groups. Who would like to roll for this one?
I'll take this one.
Okay.
Terrified right now.
Parlin, still in their cat ears and tail, going out to talk to some merchants and probably proselytize a little bit.
That's kind of why I sent him. He can, the other 2 can sell other stuff. He can sell me.
They. Parlin is they.
Oh, they. I'm sorry. I keep doing that.
Right there in the party notes.
I know.
Nate's got it open.
Right.
I'm going to call attention to the student who's behaving correctly.
I always want to do that to my students. I'm like, why don't you have the thing I'm looking at?
Mm-hmm. Did you just crit fail?
No, but I rolled a 3.
Mm.
What the hell?
And 8.
I have not had a good roll in this game in weeks, it feels like.
And 8 is rough.
I thought you said it was +6.
Oh, sorry, 9.
I mean, even still, it's just a 9. It's not
You're right, though.
helpful.
No, a 9 is not great. A 9 is what it looks like when merchants give you moral support.
Could be worse.
Seriously?
It could be worse. Moral support's not nothing in the long run, but in the short run, you've got merchants saying, I can't go out and fight. I'm the one who makes money. I'm not going to send my kids out to go fight. They're in school, or they have to learn the trade, or they're looking after their siblings. In terms of supplies, I don't have anything to spare. Silver Purse just took all my extra money. If I were to give you stuff for free, they got my ass if you fail. You get a lot of that. Like, if you fail, I'm fucked. But moral support also looks like they're not immediately writing out your party members who are going out and talking to the merchants. When the guards or any other Silver Purse enforcer types come through, they're not going to be like, the Church of Rebellion is recruiting to go kick your ass. So that is a positive there. Because a crit fail does look like people turning against you. And this is also, if you're successful, they're not going to blame you for destroying part of the city. I mean, if you destroy their part of the city, maybe. But if you only mess up the contract house and the Silver Purse building, they're kind of okay with that. Yeah, not a great start. Any questions about this particular scenario? Because I don't know if I covered kind of the basics.
I think it works.
Okay. Arnis, real quick.
Yep.
Roll me a d20. I should say Shannon, real quick. Roll me a d20. This doesn't have anything to do with Arnis.
I got a 6.
Hey, 6 merchants. Take cat ears and tail from Parlin.
Okay.
Parlin's efforts to talk you and the church up are not unsuccessful. Man, I'm going to be real sad if the symbol of overthrowing the Silver Purse in this town is putting on cat ears. I mean, I'm gonna love it, but it's like
wacky.
I'm not.
It's not.
Caroline is going to be in her element. It's going to be amazing.
It's not exactly threatening. Let's just say. All right. Do we want to knock out the other NPCs before we get to the big show with you three?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Sounds like a plan.
Knock out all the other failures before.
I'm super
We
nervous.
fail ourselves.
Roll one of them.
Hey, you don't have to be nervous. I already failed, so it's fine.
So I'm also gonna fail.
Hey, come on.
I can't seem to succeed at all lately. So I'm very boohoo with myself. And it's all because I can't roll for crap. So it's nobody else's fault.
I blame the dice.
Yep.
We've got Mahogany and Morello going out to recruit children and gain intel. And we've got Sam, Caroline, and Felicity going out to the farms to build up your arms. Which one do we want to go to first? If no one wants to speak up, I say we follow Mahogany and Morello, because that's still within the city.
Sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Okay. Mahogany and Morello going out along the side streets, finding other street youths, trying to get information on what's going on, and whether or not any of these kids could be rallied to the cause. While that can take the form of being runners, that could also take the form of causing distractions, let's say. Pulling guards away from the contract house by, I don't know, starting trash can fires outside of the Silver Purse.
Awesome.
Let's do that.
Kids are fun. Kids are okay with light arson.
Light
They can be. Not all children.
That is a great fun. Light arson.
But as someone who was once a child and fascinated by fire, I could see the appeal.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch things burn, is what I'm saying. Who wants to roll for Mahogany and Morello? Looking at the two of them, Morello's got a 2 bonus, and Mahogany also has a 2. So this is a +4.
I'll roll. Let me get this out of the way.
All right.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready when you are, Nate.
Okay, I rolled a 13.
Ooh, nice. Is that before
Well
or after the
done.
bonus?
That is before the bonus. So the bonus was 2, you said?
The bonus is 4.
Bonus is 4, so it's a 17.
17. That looks like a success to me.
That ain't terrible. Well done, Nate.
I got lucky. Thank you.
So, your NPC friends have managed to go get other street youths on your side. I will tell you about the intel that they gather, but is there anything else that you want from these children? I mentioned light arson, but there could be other things. It doesn't have to be crime.
Well, but distractions would be top of the list
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Any particular types of distractions that you would enjoy seeing?
I don't know. I mean,
I like to think of as trash can fires because you said
I
it.
know.
That sounds like so much fun.
it just sounds so fun. But like I'm good with anything, right? If they have people who can like scale buildings and like shout at people and then like run away across the rooftops, like I'm down for that too.
Mhm.
Or just like, throwing dirt at people and running away, like just
Ooh, that's good.
just like
Disrupting guard patrols.
Yeah.
Just harassment in general of the guards.
yeah, and just basically like just keeping their attention essentially.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sounds good. The intel, I can tell you all now, or we could wait until you reconvene with your party members so we can do this out in character.
We can wait till we reconvene. I'm good with that.
Alrighty, cool. Street youths are on your side,
Woo.
which leaves us with Sam, Carolina, and Felicity going out to the farms to recruit others. This one probably takes the longest out of any of these three, simply because they have to leave the city walls and go around to farms. Whether they're doing this collectively, like the three of them are at each farm at the same time, or they're like, we're each going out and then we're coming back together. I don't know what that looks like. The dice will know. The dice will tell us. But this is probably your second best chance to get physical in-person support. Bunch of strapping young farm lads and farm lasses. Or just old codgers with a pitchfork. Fucking fed up. You never know. There's no age requirement for being pissed off.
True.
So, Sam, Carolina, and Felicity are also some of your more connected friends. Sam's got a bond of 5. Caroline has a bond of 3. Felicity has a bond of 4. So this comes out to a +9 if we're adding Sam and Felicity's together. It was mainly the combination of them 3 or just adding more than 3 people together. I'm like, why don't we add them all together? Like, that will get ridiculous. If you send your whole party out, they've got a crazy-ass bonus, which is fun.
Also, like, as they should. If they're all going to do something together.
I mean, I think at that point it would be like you would get the 2 highest and then also advantage. So it would be like a +9 with advantage is fucking great. You don't need what is the sum total of that?
Can I ask a question before we do this roll?
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
just looking at Felicity's line on this thing.
Oh, now you're just looking at that.
What
Yeah.
is I've been like looking at this document on and
I
off.
literally just Googled what you're about to ask.
What
Clythrophobic?
clythrophobic is?
2 seconds ago, I Googled what that was. Yeah.
Okay. Clythrophobic is like a fear. I'm going to get this wrong. So I will also dictionary.com this up, but it's a type of claustrophobia that is more to do with not being able to have like a way out.
Like when you don't have an escape route.
Got it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm fairly certain. A fear of being locked in.
Oh, okay.
So small spaces alone like aren't disturbing to her. Like, you could be in a very big room, but if you're locked in there, that would trigger clythrophobia.
Okay.
Conversely, being in a very small closet, but knowing that the door is unlocked is also all right. That mainly just stems from her stint in that little cage.
Right.
Right. That makes sense.
Since, she got freed and then immediately lost an arm.
Right. Actually, didn't she like lose the arm and then get freed? Wasn't she still
potato?
She's still in the cage when she lost the arm.
Yes, she was. Sorry. You're right.
Yep.
It was even more prisoner
Even
abuse than I
worse.
mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was not a fun time for her. And while she has been reconnecting with Favon and has been able to create that little kind of mage arm thing that Darvin saw, it still doesn't undo the events of that day. They're still there in her memory and still affects her. And for some reason, is it treating these numbers as text instead of numbers? What's going on here?
Oh, that they're like centered?
No, that they're like, I'm trying to add them up and like with a function like, hey, what's the sum of these numbers? And it's like 0, like it's text. Yeah, if you sent them out there all together and I added up all those bonuses, that'd be a +25. That's...
Yeah. Woo.
That's not going to happen. Anyways, sorry, we got distracted by math and then by grammar. So, Sam, Caroline, and Felicity are going out to the farms to recruit folk. The intention here is mostly to directly get them to physically come support you.
Mm-hmm.
Since the 3 of them are going out, and we're taking the 2 highest bonuses, which is a 5 from Sam and a 4 from Felicity, that gives them a combined +9 on this roll, which is a very good number. Chris, you're the only one who hasn't rolled yet.
Don't botch it. What was it? You said 9?
Yes, +9.
Well, that's what I rolled too, so it's going to be an 18.
Hey!
Yeah.
Look at that. 2 successes out of 3 so far. So, success. What does success look like here? It looks like farmers coming to your aid. Very much the opposite of swords to plowshares. We are going plowshares to swords.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't have time to remake their farming equipment. They are just bringing it with them. I'll say with an 18, that also could include them bringing some of their animals to either haul stuff with them in terms of farming equipment to be used as weapons, or it could be they just bring a really angry mule to go kick somebody.
Hell yeah.
I'll leave this up to the party.
An ass kicking. Tickled Shannon.
An ass kicking against
Outside of strapping young farmers and embittered old farmers and just, pissed off farm spouses, what additional farm type bonus do you want them to bring with them to this fight? This could be some food, but it could also be the ass kicking ass kicker.
Ass. I think food is probably like top on that.
Okay.
Food may attract other people too, which could be
We'll see.
helpful.
But it's always good to have food.
Come join the revolution. We have food.
Sometimes the simplest things work.
Join the dark side. We have cake.
No, I'm more of a cookies fan myself.
Let
Whatever.
them eat cake.
Exactly.
Smoking cookies.
So we brought our own cake.
Farmers also have, not a bunch, but they have some horses in case anybody wanted to ride into battle.
That's definitely something I would want to do. I get bonuses.
For riding an animal?
Yeah, my wand does more damage if I attack beyond its maximum distance on a mount.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the wand.
I can attack at like double the maximum distance and do more damage if I'm on a mount because it's made for artillery.
Badass.
It's made for me to be flinging spells from atop a wyvern.
Yeah, I was going to say it was originally intended for flight combat, but
Yeah.
it'll work on ground combat too because I didn't want to be limiting. But yeah, that does mean you're like back in the cut though. Or you're picking off people far away, like their support lines. Cool. Food. Some horses. So when the time comes, if anybody wants to be on a horse, you're more than welcome to say, I'm on a horse. There's not enough to go around for all of your allies, but the farmers may want to ride their own horses too. But if any of the three of you want to be on a horse, you can. Darvin, just be careful when you're giving him the old giddy up.
Yeah.
Giddy up.
This historically does not go well for me.
Okay. Sam, Carolina, and Felicity have been successful in their efforts to go out to the farms surrounding Caravel to recruit farmers to the cause. You will have farmers joining the fight physically. They will bring some of their farm tools as weapons. They will bring some horses, which can be used to ride into battle or for any other purposes that you can think of. They prefer you not slaughter them for food because they have also brought some food.
Yes.
Caravel being in the autumn band, you get a lot of good autumn produce. Lots of squashes.
Yeah. Squash.
You've also certainly got things like cabbages. Don't know what the hell Chris just did, but it did tickle me too. He sounded like a Pokemon.
No, it was meant to be the Hulk, but instead of saying smash, he was saying squash. Shannon got it.
No, I didn't. I just thought it was funny.
Okay, never mind.
Me too.
All right. So, between the 3 NPC groups that you've sent out, you've had 2 successes out of 3. The merchants are giving you moral support, but that doesn't provide you with any bodies or goods. It just provides you with them turning a blind eye to whatever it is you're about to do next, so long as it doesn't directly impact them. They're more worried about taking care of themselves in case you fail, which is a very reasonable fear, especially when they have so little. Mahogany and Morello, on the other hand, were able to get some success with the street kids. You'll get some distractions, and you'll get some intel. Sam, Carolina, and Felicity, success with the farmers. You're going to get some bodies with some farm weapons, bringing some food and some horses. Your characters will learn all about that stuff when you all reconvene later. But in the meantime, Arnis, Darvin, and Finnegan, you are heading out to seek assistance from the Sporting Association, which is to say, to get the support of the pit fighters themselves by talking to their bosses. Their bosses' bosses, even. But along the way, Finnegan said he would like to keep an eye out for animals who may be able to provide information or other things that he can do with animals. I don't remember everything that Finnegan can do with animals, because I don't have the class pulled up right next to me. But
Mostly
animal
it's
assistance.
Talk with and then train to do things.
Mm-hmm. So, let's just have... so Finnegan, let's have a roll from you first, just to see if you get distracted along the way and get pulled away from this conversation with this sporting association guild.
All right, let's do it.
I'm imagining this is just a perception roll, but if there's something else that you can imagine for how to see an animal, I'm all ears. I can think of a few other ways that could happen very easily. I just don't have all the skills in front of me right now.
No, I think I'm just because I don't want to draw attention. I'm not like going out to find something. I'm just keeping an eyeball open. Let's just go with the perception.
Okay. Let's roll some perception then, please.
Okay, +2 to 16.
16 is pretty good. So Finnegan, what animal do you spot that draws your attention thinking, that animal could be my friend and accomplice?
We're kind of going through the town, right? We're walking through on the streets. The streets are really busy, so there's not like a lot of creatures crawling around. But I'm like looking up, kind of scoping the rooftops, and there's just like a little red-tailed hawk just kind of sitting, watching, probably like watching an alley looking for mice or something to come scurrying out.
Finnegan's going to get distracted by a hawk, eh? Okay. Very curious how you get this hawk's attention, although I'm sure speak with animals will do that very well, but if there's other means, we can certainly get into that. Let's go deal with the sporting association first. Let's have Arnis and Darvin continue on their way while Finnegan, do you just like dip out, like just stop in the middle of the road and everybody else carries on, or do you let them know what's happening? What's happening?
Close by the time I spot the hawk, we're like close. So I kind of just wave them off and go, I'll wait out here. Just holler I'll wait here. If you need anything, let me know. And I'm just like, my eyes are just on this bird.
Okay.
Just make a ruckus. I'll know if you need me.
Make a ruckus. It's a good plan.
Okay.
And then as they're leaving, I said, do you want to take Cyril?
Ooh.
Sure. We're good. Like, she trusts us. It's fine.
Do one of you speak Draconic?
No.
Nope.
All right. I'm going to teach you a couple of words very quickly. And I teach you the word for attack, and I teach you the word for stop. And I looked at Cyril, and we have a conversation. It's more gestures and like sounds than anything else. And I kind of stand up and I say, do you want her in the harness or out of the harness?
I don't know. I'm very intimidated by Cyril, so I don't know.
Probably in the harness then. That sounds less intimidating.
All right. In the harness, she's about the size of a golden retriever.
That seems more manageable.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not a small person, but at the same time, like, I'm just...
All right, so what she's going to do, she's going to follow you and do whatever you tell her to. Either of those two options. She'll either come back, and then she'll continue to follow me. She's good. You'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. And I look down, and I pat her on the head, and I wave her off, and she kind of pads up and like heels right on Arnis's heel. She's very well trained.
Okay.
I just like the fact it's like, she'll do whatever you tell her to do. As long as it's one of those two things. She doesn't know your other common tongue.
I'm sorry, the options were teach her another language or make her defenses stronger.
I say you chose correctly.
I would concur. Oh, and as they're leaving, I will tell them, since you're taking Cyril, don't worry about letting me know if there's trouble. I'll know.
Nice.
We have a connection.
Okay.
That's useful. There's definitely going to be trouble. You'll just know when.
Gosh, I hope there's not trouble. I mean, they're a guild. And it's a sporting guild, though, so there will be athletic folk there. People who could probably do some good grappling and good punching. But they're probably not in their prime anymore. But it depends on how bad you fail. You know, you crit fail here, you could get, like, some boxer in his prime. On the other hand, if you succeed very, very well and start a fight, maybe it's all just against the Mandelbaums, since we're on that Seinfeld kick.
Yeah.
Okay. Distractions aside. We'll do Finnegan talks to a hawk on his own later. But Darvin and Arnis, heading into the sporting association. The guild hall for the sporting association here in Caravel is impressive in size, but it's still modest compared to what you saw at the Silver Purse. This is a functional building. It's big, it's square, everything is very blocky. The doors are heavy. There are murals and statues of athletes, discus throws, the one with a spear getting ready to throw it, or like a javelin ready to throw it. Paintings of athletes back in their prime or being honored after retirement. There's probably a number of memorials for famous athletes who have passed here. But all in all, it's got a rather upbeat vibe. And it's not meant to be impending. They don't want you to feel threatened by their athletes. They want you to feel entertained. And so there's a fun, I don't know fun, but there's a positive vibe to the place. And you make your way in.
And with that, we'll bring this chapter to a close. But the story will always continue. Thanks again to all of our Patreon patrons for your support. If you'd like to become a patron, go to patreon.com/Skyrend Podcast and pick out a level that's right for you. Before we go, I'd like to give special thanks to everyone at the $5 and up tiers. At the $5 City Council level, thank you, Shannon DeMello. At the $10 Mayor level, thank you, Christopher DeMello. At the $15 Governor level, thank you, Paul Calicott, Phoenix Bryan, and Sierra Jones. Thank you for listening to this chapter in Seasons of Skyrend. If you like what you heard, please leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you find us. If you want to chat, we're on Twitter at Skyrend Podcast. You can join our Discord server, or you can email us at skyrendpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us online at skyrendpodcast.com. As always, thanks to Daryl Barnes for creating our theme music. You can find them on Twitter at DarylBarnes_. We also want to thank the talented at Gabby_Desu on Twitter for our fantastic podcast art. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time on Seasons of Skyrend.